Okay, so morning. So at first I was not planning. Uh, so today will be a bit different. Okay. Today I'm just gonna chat. Okay, because there's a couple of things that caught my eye. Okay. The first thing was I at first was just thinking about talking about climate change, but then what happened earlier this week, it really bothers me. So I feel like this is a huge turning point. So I decided to talk about it, which is the Uvalde, Texas one. So before I begin, I would just like to say, it- there's nothing else to say, but it's a tragedy, and okay, and hopefully, that. Well, I just want to say that although you know I'm just a guy who's basically like on the other side of the world because I live in Malaysia and US is basically on the other side of the world. Um, I just gotta say I feel sorry for the parents and the family members who have to went through all of it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about Uvalde, Texas. Okay, so bear in mind this is just me, from somebody who's across the globe giving his opinions on it. Okay, so first of all, um, I think I'll talk a bit about Malaysia first. Okay, about our gun culture. Malaysia doesn't have Malaysia guns are, I won't say well regulated, but it's heavily regulated. Okay, is that of course, uh, if you want to get a gun in Malaysia, you will need to have go through training, and you got to get clearance from the police. And you need to secure your guns. Okay, so in a sense, we regulate it heavily because we understand that if just a simple fact, if there are guns, they're going to be more mass shooting. Okay, and uh, for Uvalde, Texas, it is extremely special in the sense that why is it special? It's because uh, because mass shootings in America happen almost, I wouldn't say daily, but so frequent enough that you're going to have multiples of them in a city in a span of a month. Okay, and multiples, okay, of mass shootings happen, okay, that it doesn't even make a news anymore. Okay, so I think the first thing we should go to is that we should check out this America gun culture in 7 charts. Okay, so this one here can give us a brief overview before I dive into Uvalde, Texas. Okay, um so America, okay, how many guns are there in the US? Okay, so if you compare gun ownership in compared to uh, gun ownership compared to other countries, okay, US is beating the rest of, okay. So if you take a look at US, it's 120.5, okay. But if you take a look, okay, Yemen, okay, sir, okay, Yemen is basically is a war-torn country right now, okay. Serbia, Montenegro, Uruguay, okay. So this I wouldn't say that they are I won't say that they are in a very high, how should I say this, in a high conflict zone, but they have that image of being in high. Uh, okay, I'm not gonna say much. Okay, so the rest here basically like they are well regulated most of the, okay, because Canada, I remember that you need to have somebody sign off, okay, that you are mentally stable, okay, and you have to be somebody close to that person. And for the others, okay, Cyprus, Finland, I'm not sure about them, but since most of them are European countries, most probably they are well regulated, okay. And okay, so how do you guess gun theft breakdown? So 24,000 is a suicide. So that itself is heartbreaking because um I've heard news before. The breakdown is that some people who since they have a gun and they feel depressed, so like they feel like the only way to escape is by pulling the trigger on themselves. But um, if but some of them, okay, that actually survive from this, like suicide, they actually say that, if they don't have a gun, maybe they would have thought it through, and they wouldn't actually pull the trigger. Those that survive, so I can guarantee that some of them who lost their life probably think that way. But um here is where the biggest problem, okay, if you ask me, where the homicide, okay, legal intervention, okay, the police, the police shoot them, unintentional, literally, like, they misfire, and undetermined, like, maybe it can break down. But I do feel like um maybe this one can be considered. I wonder if this considered a crime as well. Oh, okay. This is just a small part of it, okay? Because like 1,006, something like that. So in other words, like 18,000 is most of them. They are, intentional, okay? And how do gun killings compare with other countries? Okay, an international comparison of gun-related killings as a percentage of all homicides. So US have 79%. Okay, UK have 4%. Canada have 37. Okay, because if you take a look at Canada up here, it's 34.7% of their total, compared to citizen. Okay, so you can see that it correlates that. Okay, Australia 30%, because Australia, is it somewhere up there? No. Okay, fine. Okay, basically both of these white, basically majority white countries. I'm not saying that race comes into factor of that. Okay, but I wish that they also include, like the top, compared to up here. Maybe not Yemen, because Yemen is a war-torn country right now. Okay, maybe Montenegro, and see how it goes. Okay, so if you take a look, okay, it's basically this chart here and the other chart up there actually have proven that got, more guns equal to more, gun-related killings. Okay, either suicide, homicide, intentional or unintentional. Okay, so all of that, so it kind of blows my mind that every time we talk about, the first thing you should go to when there's a mass shooting is that, talk about, how are guns, are regulated in the country. But for Americans, like, oh, now's not the time. Okay, now's not the time for us to talk about gun regulation. And then when are you going to talk about gun regulation? Okay, so like a year after it, but that won't happen in America, because basically, like, you're going to get one, okay, a week, a month. It's not gonna be that far apart. Okay, so if you just say it's not the time, then, like, okay, maybe say wait 3 weeks after that. What about, the mass shooting that happens in between that 3 weeks, and it have been pushed along, okay, along down the line. Okay, I know that the pandemic has actually, basically, kind of put a band-aid to it, because, like, in the first year, the whole world has been to went into lockdown. Like, people stay inside, so it's going to directly affect, like, people going out in public. So that's why there's no mass shootings. Okay, unless they're gonna shoot the people in their house. Okay, mass shooting becoming deadlier. Okay, so as you can see, okay, here, okay, so this is not, okay, they don't arrange this by, how should I say this, by the year, but actually by how many, number of people who got shot, okay, victims killed. So if you take a look, okay, I think without a doubt, the Las Vegas, Nevada is especially, horrifying one, is because the guy, he really wanted to shoot up the people, and he hide up in the in the hotel room. Okay, if I'm not wrong, around the 20th floor, something like that. Okay, and there's no way that, and because he was shooting down at the concert goers, okay, there's no way that people can actually take him down because he's way up in the, he's way up there. And even if they try to shoot him, okay, they might actually shoot, the wrong floor and, kill an innocent, people who just try to get sleep or something like that. Yeah. And then, so you can see that, 1999, yeah, so like, let's see, 11, 12 people, yeah, and Nevada, in the shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada has gone close to 60, like 58 maybe. Okay, now I think that's enough to talk about, how absurd, gun deaths have been in America. Okay, now we gotta go to, what happened earlier this week in Uvalde, Texas. Okay, so um let's not talk about the police things first. Okay, that one is for later. Okay, this is just like an overview of it. Okay, that is going to be a huge part of it, but not for now. Okay, so what happened in Uvalde, Texas, is that, school shooting happened and it took the life of 19 children. So let's just compare this a bit. Okay, so 19 children. So it should be just oh 19 children plus plus two teachers. Okay, so 21. So like it's just a bit here, but that doesn't mean that, it doesn't shock the nation. Okay, because, like um even if, like, if you're comparing this, just like, hey, Las Vegas, Nevada, I have more people dying, but these are children. And I'm not saying that, concert goers doesn't deserve as much, but they are in school, they're supposed to feel safe. And like, for them to get gunned down in a school setting, it's not only as a tragedy, it's supposed to be a nightmare. It's a scene from hell. Okay, these, like, I've heard that the children who survived the shooting, they were watching, Lilo and Stitch. Imagine, like, in the morning you're watching Lilo and Stitch, and in the by noon your classmates dead. Come on, imagine, I can guarantee these children that, that survive are gonna get PTSD from, you know either from watching Disney movies, or or just being by near guns. And what's scary is that yesterday, okay, that they came like a report that one of the girl that survived, okay, they have to, what she did, how she survived, could actually, like, put her hands in, the friend's blood and smother it all over her, and pretend that she's dead. Can you imagine? If I'm wrong, most of them are fourth graders, 10 years old, have to do that to survive with the blood of their friend, maybe best friend. Uh, if they don't have PTSD, these children have been so desensitized by all of it, that I think they're gonna be, mentally and emotionally, psychologically broken from all the events here. And I can't I can't imagine that these children, like, will be looking forward to go to school even from now on. Okay, you can imagine that these children, they're gonna be, like, social recluse after all of this. Okay, so it's heartbreaking watching all of it. Okay, and what and okay, and the thing is, okay, that there's a lot of time for the police to act. Okay, because let's take a look. Okay, let's just go from, because let's go through the timeline. Okay, so let's see. uh okay, so here, okay, it says that 6 million detected, I just shot my grandma. So basically around 11:15, okay, that he already murdered a person. Okay, and then, okay, began firing outside the school. So like by 11:27, okay, he's already at the school. 11:27. Okay, and let's see until the end. Okay, we will go through it later. Okay, Okay, 12:51 through the younger, their loud noises can be heard. No, wait, is that all? Yeah. So 12:51 to from 11:27 to 12:51. So basically, like less than 90 minutes. Okay, 1.5 hours. That you know, they are in school. Okay, so like at first you can think of, okay, why does it take so long? Okay, just think logically. Okay, so if you think logically, okay, if they charge in, okay, they might be afraid that if they charge in, they're gonna open fire and like children may get into the crossfire. That is a possibility. Okay, that is a possibility and a highly likely possibility as well if they both if the police came in guns blazing. Okay, and the second thing is that maybe if they charge in, the the student may take the whole classroom of children along with them. So there's a lot of things that you have to consider a bit. Okay, but but okay, so what happened? Okay, what happened was, rather than that being a part of the the thoughts of the police, okay, is that, okay, we found out later the day after, most likely, is that the parents expressed anger at the police because what happened was this 19 police we are outside of the school when this all happened. Okay, 19 police officers. So think about it. Like, okay, if you say, like, give them 10 minutes to strategize how to go with it, okay, and I think if that's the case, like, parents also will, like, yeah, they have to take safety precautions, but 90 minutes is just too much. Okay, and what happened is that the police, they were in front of the school, 19 of them, and they've actually, okay, they've actually, let me see, where does it say here? Oh wait, this is just okay, I forgot where I've read this. Okay, is that what happened was their parents who got oh yeah, it's actually down here. You're supposed to expand it. You're supposed to expand it. Okay, this here. Wait, no. Okay, never mind then. So let me just tell what I've heard from the other report is that the parents, they urged the police officer after some time get to charge into the school to help their children because their children are still trapped there. Okay, and I won't say the whole school, but a huge number of them are still in the class. Okay, because he've actually, I won't say barricaded, he actually went into the room and into one of the classroom with the children's in. So basically, like, to act as a shield for the police officer. And whether you like it or not, okay, they should charge in after some time, okay, if there's no changes, okay. And the parents were begging them to save their children, and what they did was just like standing there and basically like handcuffing those who are like, why don't we just storm the school. And that, of course, as a parent, that is your first reaction to it. Okay, so can you, like, your children is with an active shooter, okay, and the police are doing nothing. Okay, so like, whether you like it or not, the first instinct is just to jump right in. And basically, after some time passed, that is the most logical thing that you should do, unless like the gunman actually like have his own purpose for all of this. Okay, now I want to say that what infuriates me is that there's a report that came out, okay, that the police actually, how do I say this? went in, okay, secretly and saved their kid. While the other parents, they actually blocked to actually like secure the kids. So what happened was this one woman who actually got handcuffed, okay, for a while, and then later she was let go. Then she left the when she got released from the handcuff, went into the school, got her children out, okay, and that's how her kids survived. Imagine that. She got handcuffed for trying to save her kids, while the police are doing nothing. This shows that the police can actually do something to actually help the other children. Okay, like maybe like okay, maybe if they go in, like I say, if they went in bad in a huge group, the gunman might get panicked and shoot everything out, everybody in the classroom. That's a nightmare. So like maybe send 2 or 3 people, like like ninja them out, go inside the school and like take and bring the children out, just like what they did with the uh with the with their own kids. Now, I really want to see, how, because the police did get out the kid. I wonder how, the um how their friends, okay, how the school is going to react, because these police officers only think about their own family. They don't care a shit about the other students. Okay, now what makes it extremely egregious about this part here is that, where is it? Okay, okay. While police funding makes up 40% of Uvalde budget. So Uvalde, Texas is, like, if I'm not wrong, it's a small, Texas city. Okay, if I'm not wrong, around 15,000 residents. Okay, something like that. And 40% of it goes to the police. And this is the result they produce. Okay, I don't know whether it mentioned here. Okay, let's just take a look. Let's just take a look. Let me see. Okay, I think that they didn't really mention here. Okay, I've read other reports saying that this school has actually been, they've actually had drills on what happened in mass shootings. Okay, and they even have, like, SWAT teams know the layout of the school. Okay, and with all of that said, okay, they took like 90 minutes to actually, like, neutralize and save the rest of the children. Okay, condolences to those that passed away. Now, what's even more worse talking about this, police, okay, police funding makes 40% of the Uvalde budget. What makes it worse is that the person that actually went in, okay, he's not actually a police officer. He's a border patrol. Okay, because if I'm not mistaken, okay, this town is quite close to the border, and like there's a lot of border patrol officer that work in in this city, and you can assume that some of their kids went to this school. So, like, what's the whole point of the police? They actually, like, not only that they didn't stop it, they impede this, the rescuing of the children, and actively, like, in a sense, I don't want to say it, but you can actually say that they're actually protecting letting the children die, and that is abhorrent. So, like, basically, these police officers, they are not qualified to be police at all. Okay, because your job is to serve, not, okay, is to serve the public. Okay, you're supposed to put your life at risk. Okay, so same thing like firemen. Okay, because firemen, okay, they will, the first thing that, if there's a fire and there's people inside there, the first thing that a fireman is trained to do is to go into the building, and save them. Okay, taking that's why they have, equipments, like equipment to help them like to reduce the dangers that they're going to face. Okay, the police officer, if I'm not wrong, they're wearing tactical gear. Look at this. Can you look at this guy here? This guy over here, he's wearing a Kevlar. Okay, maybe not full Kevlar, but still. Okay, like you have the equipment and you are standing there for 90 minutes. Okay, be kind to them. 60 minutes, an hour. Okay, you can't do anything about that. Seriously? And I heard one report. Okay, that the police officer was so freaking dumb. Is that the police officer? If you need help, okay, shout for help. And one of the kids shout help, and then the gunman came into the room and shot him. Holy shit! What kind of a fucking idiot are you? That police officer, okay? I don't, like that guy, that police officer, he is basically the reason for that one children dying. There's no other way to put it. Okay, like the rest you can say like neglect of duty or something like that. But that guy, he even it's unintentionally, but he led to a person's death. My God, maybe this is genius over here. Holy shit. I have nothing else to say about that. Okay, and so all of that said, the police here, they are cowards. Now, why I think that this is a turning point for for mass shooting in America going forward is because it shows that the police are, I won't say ill-equipped. The police are inept at dealing with mass shooting, because you can't blame them. Okay, like people have been flaunting their guns. Okay, like if you're a police officer, like yeah, you're gonna be afraid that one day you're gonna be at the end of the barrel, and there's no other way to put it other than that in your mind, in your simulation, you're gonna be shot by them. And since you're a police officer, okay, you're like, what's worse is that AR-15 is basically like the gun favorite for all. Okay, what happened to the children that got shot? Okay, they have to be identified by DNA, because the gun have basically like it rips them. The word rip is basically literal here. They rip them apart, because like if I'm not I heard they say like a shot from AR-15 is actually going to like disintegrate your bones. Okay, so like I don't want to like, in a sense, I don't want to see the the pictures of of the dead bodies, but I hope that the parents who actually some parents will actually give consent to release the photos, is because like this is what happened if you don't regulate assault rifles like AR-15. Okay, if this is gonna go through, if it's not your children, one of your family members who's going to be who's gonna end up at the end of the barrel is gonna look like that. That's what I hope. Okay, and the police, okay, now that there's going to be a huge scrutiny of the police, now this is my speculation. Okay, like some the police officers all over the country is probably gonna look at this like, huh, these guys are cowards, let me show you how it's done. This is what I'm afraid, is that if there are people who think about it like that, and then they think like, okay, if there's gonna be a mass shooting, okay, even though I'm gonna be afraid, I'm gonna go and charge and take down the gunman. If that were to happen, think about it. Okay, imagine like a mass shooting happened at school. This police officer, they got huge scrutiny, like they feel the pressure of going in, and when they go in and they basically go all Rambo style, I can guarantee if this situation played out, there's gonna be a huge collateral damage. Like a couple of students are gonna get caught up in the crossfires. Okay. Now, with that said, we've got to see some of the proposal, some solutions that Fox News offered. Okay, let's take a look, and I'll stop it like every now and then, and like to go through their ideas and their proposal. Oops.
I advocate always for an armed security guard.
Armed school safety officer.
Armed deputy. Arming teachers.
Potentially arm and prepare and train teachers and other administrators.
Armed school staffers.
Bring in policemen.
Okay. Give me a second.
Training.
Okay, I'm security guard. Okay, I'm security guard. I'm school safety officer. Okay, so basically, okay, security guard, safety officer, deputy. So this three, they already have 19 waiting outside. So those, like, this idea should be shut down immediately, because like a person with a gun who received training, whose their main job is to protect them from mass shooting, didn't stop them all. Okay, freaking idiots. Now, number 4, 4, 5, 6 teachers, administrators, school staffers. Okay, so people working in the school should be armed. These people, they are so afraid of them, of teachers teaching them CRT, critical race theory, and also saying that teachers are groomers. Now they say that those things are dangerous and corrupting the mind, and you want to give guns to these kind of people. You already demonized them, okay? Even though they're not those. Okay? As a teacher myself, I feel insulted when they say it like that. Those teachers, I can get, like, the 2 teachers that died, I can guarantee, like, they died protecting the children. And now some of the police officers are blaming the teachers for putting the kids in danger. You didn't even save them from it. Holy policeman! What do you want, policeman? Okay, to wait outside again instead of 19 police officers waiting outside? You want 100 police officers waiting outside, even though there's only one gunman? What kind of fucking idiot? Train the students themselves. Number 8. Holy shit! These are 4th graders, man. 4th graders. What are you going to do? Holy shit, fucking idiots. There's no other way.
The students themselves.
Retired military, retired law enforcement. We can offer them tax breaks.
Retired military, retired law. What do you want to do? You want to retire these people? Like, yeah, I feel like you should. Okay, what does retired military and retired law enforcement do? Explain to me, man. How? And then, like, tax breaks. What is tax breaks? Like, oh, who are you gonna give tax break to? The gunman? The police officer? How does that happen? Oh my fucking god! The fact that he actually said it, on television, makes it extremely fucking stupid. Oh man, okay, I'm a few hours away from this place. They want retired military personnel. Yes, but the fucking thing is that that there's 19 officers on, there's 19 police officers in this place, and they want to do that. Holy, like I say, I'm not from America. Like, seeing this news break blows my mind. God, let's continue a bit more.
If you give law enforcement the opportunity to impose martial law, we can guarantee
martial law, and you claim that you are the Freedom Party. These people rail on to, like, Democrats and like want to institute martial law and take away your guns. God dang, these people are fucking dumb.
Securing that perimeter, providing kind of a ring of steel.
You have the fences, you have...
I'm surprised myself, but because I don't even think I want to talk about this, but it's so fucking crazy, and like, okay, I feel like the Sandy Hook shooting is a turning point for all of this. Is that it actually, like, how should I say, normalize gun culture, mass shooting, all of this stuff. Okay, but this one here, it puts another turning point where the police officers, okay, we can clearly see that they are afraid. Okay, they are afraid of being shot themselves. Who you can't blame them. Think about it, like, who wants to face a gun, even a police officer, no matter how, okay, maybe, like, no matter how much training you have, you're going to feel afraid, but still, like, and then the police officers, another thing that I want to point out is that the police officers lied, okay, a lot. Because before this, I saw a lot of news segments saying that police actually planted weed in people's cars and then, like, get them into trouble. Okay, and so these kind of things, like, there's no way that these the Uvalde, Texas police officers, it's the first time them lying, on a report. Like, they probably done it a couple of times already, and that's why, like, when this thing comes, like, what should we do? Lie our way out? Like, they're so brazen. And, like, if you remember, like, the Beto O'Rourke and when the governor press conference that the other day, when I see that, like, you can see that the police officer that is nearby, the governor, he takes so much offense to it, okay, and he tried to light it out, and now there's no way of defending what no way for them to defend the reality of what happened. Oh my god. Okay, let's take a look. Secure the perimeter, provide ring of steel, better fences. So you want to turn the school into a fucking prison? There's no other way to put it.
The main administration building, and then you have wide gaps on either side. The fencing's not very high.
Where the door's locked, bulletproof glass, all of these.
Locked door, bulletproof glass. Oh, what you're trying to say? Oh, I'm a gunman. I want to go into the school, but they have locked doors. Damn it, I can't go inside the fucking school. Oh, bulletproof glass. Like, how you want, if he gets in, if he starts shooting, like, you want the bullets to ricochet and hit one of the students? Oh god.
These shootings have happened at the same time that we see religion and Christian values and Judeo-Christian values declining.
Anybody who decides that they want to do something like this should immediately know that attacking a school is a death sentence.
Judeo-Christian values? Like, what do you mean? You want to tell them, like, you're a Christian, you shouldn't shoot people. Wow, I think that's going to be a real effective line against, when the shooter hears that, they're gonna stop. Make attacking a school a death sentence. Dude, most of these people, went into the school, they are prepared to die. Okay? Holy.
Kids are afraid of being the school snitch.
We have to
school
stop.
Snitch? How the heck the school snitch? Holy. A school snitch! A school snitch! What is this? What is this madness? Stop letting schools be gun-free zone. Who thinks this happened? There's a gun in the whole fucking school. You want to bring more guns? Oh my god.
Stop letting these schools be gun-free zones.
People need to put their phones down.
Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Oh my fucking god. Oh, the whole reason we got shot is because I'm holding up my phone.
And get to know the person next to them.
We have spent billions of dollars on COVID-related measures for our schools.
What does COVID have to do with this? What the heck does COVID have to do with this?
Let's take some of that money and divert it over to hardening these soft targets.
A lot of these private schools, they take security way more serious.
Dude, this school, if I'm not mistaken, one of the reports says the SWAT team know the layout. They have done drills with it. Oh.
Parents, take your children to church. This anti-police narrative is forcing people not to call police.
A series of interlocking doors at the school entrance that are triggered by a tripwire, and it traps the shooter like a rat.
What happened if, one of the students actually, trips it? What? You're gonna trap the... what I think that what he's trying to say is that in RPG games, the dungeons, like if you if you step on this floor, and then later it's gonna like, how should I say, open a trap door, and then there's how should I say, spears at the bottom, and like they get impaled. Think about what happened if one of the students stepped on it.
God is the answer to that.
God is the answer. What? I don't even know what this means.
Moral rot going on that we all need to dig in and try to address.
I vote for decreasing social media.
What does social media exposure have to do with this? Yeah, that's what I mentioned early on.
Exposure. We need to start focusing on mental health.
Tell us why you think it's important to pray in a
Are you going to give mental health, like for example, like more psychiatrists pray?
It calls for faith and prayer.
You've been saying thoughts and prayers to the victims so many fucking times. Did it stop? No. As a matter of fact, it actually getting even worse by the years.
That schools aren't protected in the same way that airports.
There are some people who don't want police officers in schools with guns because other people are triggered.
Assault rifle and enhanced body armor.
Wait. Did they say assault rifle? Did they want more assault rifles? The whole reason why the police are afraid to go inside the school is because there's assault rifles. They're afraid to get shot.
System to let everybody in the school know what's happening.
Single point of entry.
I don't like talking about this stuff as it happens because I don't think it contributes anything positive.
Doesn't contribute anything positive. Yeah, talking doesn't actually make it positive, but you spur an action, and that action should be positive. So like, for example, enact gun laws. So for example, like regulation. If I'm not mistaken, the gunman is actually 18 years old, just barely at the legal age. He bought a gun, and then he shot his grandmother. Then he go to the school and shoot. So basically, his total kill count is 21 plus 1, 22.
Parents should be held accountable for raising their children properly.
Ballistic blankets.
We just don't have the resources to get law enforcement there quickly.
How about an executive order?
Okay, don't talk about. Okay, raise your children properly. What? Because this is going to be like a minor point. Is that in America, I heard that you need like 2 or 3 jobs to basically like survive because the minimum wage is just so horrible. Like how pay them more, indirectly, but it's help. So like, if you pay them well, parents can actually be with their kids. Okay, ballistic blankets. Give police more resources. Like we've mentioned just now. The police have 40% of the funding. How much do you want to give? 100% and get 50 police officers wait outside of the fucking school? God damn. EO for mental health facilities. Getting a gun is like legitimately a joke. I walked in and bought. Seriously? You bought yours? But I can't blame you, for buying, because like, in a sense, like the police are inept, okay? And the police are inept, and like you gotta feel like the only person to protect yourself is you, and so like you need a gun to do that. Yeah. Holy, you can walk out.
For these mental health facilities,
we have to start rebuilding this country and returning to God.
I arm
How many times do you want to talk about
everywhere I
God?
legally can.
It's up to you to protect yourself.
I advocate always for an arms.
Myself everywhere I legally can.
It's up to you to protect.
Wow, this last one is literally you, like. But I just feel like the country, I just want to say that without a doubt, freedom is one thing, okay? It's that, but basic gun regulation, okay? So like, I think the most logical, if you still want to have guns in the for people to use, okay, to protect themselves, okay? Because there's no way that you can actually like take all the guns, in a short period of time, like confiscate or like buybacks or whatsoever. There's no way you can do it because like there's more guns in America than people. So in a sense, okay, what's more logical going forward is that, okay, the best way is to take with the guns, but the first thing is that, okay, for example, background check, okay. Second, Republicans believe that any regulation infringement that will never come to the table and talk about regulation. Yes, okay. Even though I'm not American, I do watch a lot of American politics shows, okay. And Republicans, they've really been a joke. Like basically Fox News is the talking point channel for all these Republican politicians and Republicans themselves. But even I feel like they feel like this is a hard week for them because like most of the things that they said, it's actually blow up in their face with how the police, okay, not only about the police, about the gun regulation. Because if I'm not wrong, the governor like a year or two ago like relaxed the gun laws and like reduced it to 18, and this guy he got the gun thanks to him. There's no other way to put it. Like I really want to see that the people can live freely, like without being feared or being shot, okay. Because if things goes on, okay, I kind of feel sad is that I remember like a couple of years ago, if I'm not wrong, the shooter was Dylan Roof, something like that. He went to a black church and he shot the churchgoers, and that should also be another canary in the coal mine, is that there's going to be more racially motivated shooting, okay. And this one here, let me open it up, okay. The Buffalo attack, okay. So the Buffalo attack, it's basically like 10 days before this Uvalde shooting, and people are still grieving over it. And we found out there's literally another much more even worse shooting, okay, because it shoots kids in school, and they actually have to go through this traumatizing 90 minutes, okay. And this one is like they killed 10 people, but this is hugely racially motivated, and the gunman actually just shoot black people. Seriously, what does a black person who's going shopping should be your target? They're just going through their daily lives. Please be more sensible. I don't want to talk about it if it's like if the Uvalde Texas doesn't involve the police being so inept, okay, I wouldn't be talking about it. But because of that, it was primarily people of color that were older, to be honest. Yeah, but still, it's still a tragedy, okay. If I'm wrong, there's one around close to late 70s, and like you heard some of the like testimonies from their family members, like saying like, oh, one of them just came to town and she wanted to cook something for the family member, so she went to the supermarket. Think Buffalo shooting was like 50 plus. Yeah, but this is racially motivated. But because before this, okay, the Dylan Roof one was the church, and then like a year or two ago, it's like there's a lot of mass shootings in Asian shops, like salons, whatsoever, and like what are they waiting for? Are they going to wait for like, so for example, like minority main school, and the gunman go in and shoot them and say that, oh, I hate them because they are Asians? Like this, I really gotta say, if the politicians don't do something about about these mass shootings, yes, you can see it's gonna get even worse. Okay, and this is pretty much of an asshole for me to say, but I wish that January 6th, okay, because the Capitol riots storming was deadly, okay, and in other words, like some politicians got shot, okay. If that were to happen, like they would probably take this mass shooting more seriously, because all of these all the politicians they think like, oh, mass shooting doesn't happen to us, we are politicians, we are the upper class, these things happen to the to the poor people, it doesn't affect us, okay. So like when the Capitol riot happened, I feel like the politicians got a taste of the fear that normal average average citizens felt, okay. And that's the one thing that I feel should have happened, because right now I heard that the Congress, they're not gonna come back to reconvene for an emergency session to pass or to actually talk about this. Even the Democrats, they don't care about these children getting shot. Like this, basically Biden just say that, oh, it's sad, sorry, okay, heart and thoughts and prayers. This guy, okay, where's it? This coach, okay, this coach actually give a much more passionate speech. Like I feel like most Americans like share his views, because he said that 90% of Americans they want sensible gun legislation, and I feel like it's not hard to ask for this thing, okay? Gun regulation, Biden himself can't do anything, so that's the thing. But he can cite executive from my understanding is that he can cite executive order, okay? And then like if Congress will have, let's say, basically he write executive orders and challenge them, okay? And then later the Congress, okay, will have to overturn with their okay, with legislation saying that, okay, you can't do that. But in that meantime, so for example, like maybe a month, during that 1 month, okay, let's say he imposed a ban on assault rifles, okay, and then the politicians have to come back, and vote it and legislatively turn it down. So in that 1 month, at least there's like a stop in the sale of assault rifles, something like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yes, but another thing is that he doesn't dare, because like he's afraid of being called out, like he wanna impose martial law, he wanna confiscate your gun. But still, I do feel like it is in a sense a logical thought, because what do you want to do? The politicians do nothing, yeah. If he sign an executive order, at least that people can see that he's trying to do something, and people will actually vote Democrats to continue with to actually make gun gun regulation an issue in the next general election. Okay, for next election, okay, whether it's either statewide or in the presidential race. Yeah, but there's no other way to say that. There's no other way but to put it in set other than it's gonna happen again if nothing's done. Actually, I want to talk about climate change and stuff, but I was, when I first heard it, okay, before we know what the police did, and like, oh, it's a normal thing. But then after that, reports came in saying that the police did nothing, one thing. Then after that, they lied, and now, okay, can we even trust the police with what they say? I guarantee that I made a prediction a while ago saying that the police are going to feel tremendous pressure to stop a mass shooting, especially in school. And I'm afraid that these people got too much adrenaline and actually shoot innocent bystanders just because like they feel that adrenaline rush and they feel like they have to charge in. Like this, I don't want to see people dying because of guns, because it's totally preventable. Well, well, enough with that. Okay, I just want to talk a bit about the heat wave, okay? Because I do feel like this is gonna be like a prelude to a lot of things coming on. Okay, so give me a second. Let me just change it a bit. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the climate part of the chat. Okay, so if you don't know, okay, there's a lot records have been broken for temperature. Okay, so you're American, so you may not be used to Celsius. Okay, easy for me. I feel like Fahrenheit is even harder to understand, okay? Because Celsius is pretty easy. Is that 0 is the freezing point for water, 100 is the boiling point of water. So for me, I live in Malaysia. My average temperature is 38 degrees, and that I wouldn't say it's hot, but it can be hot. Okay, normally like. In European countries, it should be around 10 to early 20 degrees. Okay, so North India, okay, mercury crosses 49 degrees Celsius in several places. So this part here, okay, and our body ideal temperature is 36.7. Okay, so a lot of people are dying because of this, because when at first it happened a couple of years ago, if I'm not 2017, okay, a lot of South Asian countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all of these, they suffered a huge amount of casualties just because of the heat wave, because they reach over 50. If you forget, okay, just let me show you. I'm gonna show you. India roads melting. It was so hot. It is so hot that the roads melted. Okay, and it seems like it's gonna happen again this year. Okay, and you know, with India being I want to say this is very populated. Okay, it's a very densely populated country. India, especially India mega cities, there's a lot of pollution. So with that, okay, if that combined with people who are trying to cope with the heat, okay, you know, it's gonna be a smog-filled city, because they need to generate more energy for people to use air conditioning and whatsoever. And you can see that the unintended like effects of this is that people who are going to suffer more health related issues because of respiratory problems. So if I'm not mistaken, okay, at the peak of the pollution, like when the government didn't impose any bans to stop the factories from burning fuel, okay, it is basically like smoking a pack of cigarettes every single day just by breathing the air, because it's that the air quality index is just so bad. Okay, and now, okay, other than, you know, being in the high temperature, okay, if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of farmers are going through a terrible time right now because their crops, okay, what I saw the other day was India's mango production, basically a lot of them are spoiled because of the high temperature, and we can apply this to other crops as well. Okay, and it's gonna lead to indirect effect of reducing the food production of the world. Okay, with all the things that's going on in Ukraine, okay, because Ukraine export a lot of wheat to the whole world, and that already impacted the global food market. And now layer on top of that, this this heat wave basically gonna spoil a lot of crops. You can see that food prices are going up sooner or later, okay? Because if I'm not mistaken, okay, since Ukraine can export their crops, okay, India has taken a step up. But because of all of this, the Indian government actually have to put a stop on food imports, okay? And it's gonna indirectly cause a rise in food costs. And that's what kind of like the low-key trouble that we're gonna face on in the future. Maybe not this month, maybe in the next 3 to 6 months we're gonna feel that pain, just like in the war of Ukraine. The first month we don't really feel much about it, but later on, because of the gas ban and everything, it's gonna cause the trouble. Now okay, so India's and Pakistan heat wave explained here, okay, it have already killed 25 people in India and 65 people in Pakistan. Even though Pakistan is a small it's a lessly populated country compared to India, they are much poorer, okay? So if you think India is poor, Pakistan is even poorer, okay? So basically, like, a lot of people use electricity, and it's gonna cause the power grid is not being able to withstand the huge load. Now, if you remember this, okay, you have to take a look at the Texas power crisis. So this happened last year, during the sudden winter storm that hits Texas. Okay, Texas is especially screwed up because Texas is its own independent grid line. So in other words, like, they can't borrow from other states. And what happened during this time was, since they have to generate their own power, and a lot of the companies like can barely maintain their the power output. And at the end, okay, what happened is that they have to raise prices for the power use. Okay, like during this month, without a doubt, they use more, but the rate is like crazy. So like, there's a lot of reports saying that after all of this, okay, a lot of people have to pay $16,000 US dollars, okay, tens of thousands of US dollars per household. Like, without a doubt, the power companies are making a huge amount of money because of that, okay? And then the people are suffering. Like, I've read reports, okay, if I'm not from Fox, okay, something like this man who is a retired guy, I was gonna mention the freeze law. Yeah, so so how was it? How was your experience with that? Okay, because you did mention your problem, taxes, and after all, okay. The only people affected by that were people with no contract who pay month to month. So how's your bills? Okay, any how should I say, spike? Without that, you use more, to heat up the house. Oh, your bill wasn't affected. But still, okay. With, like, my bill wasn't effective. Okay. Oh, okay. You didn't have power the entire time. And then another thing that with all of that happen, okay, with all of this happen, and the thing is still having a fix, okay, because Texas, like, it seems that they're trying to do something, but my park's busted. Well, Texas is supposed to be like, a hot place, and winter came, so most of your, like, if I'm not mistaken, I've read, like, Texas is not equipped with the snow plows and all of that. So basically, you're stranded in your own homes because you can't get out and all of those kind of things. So, and you know, why am I talking about this is because it's gonna happen again. Because instead of a winter storm, came and hit you, it's gonna be about the heat wave. So Texas heat wave to test power grid again this week. So we're not going to be in summer, yet, but we've already seen how hot it is. Okay, and I feel like we're gonna see the whole thing again, and I hope it does snow luckily, but yeah, we don't get snow here but Abbott refused to winterize all out shit. So he doesn't want to connect to the other states, and okay, being reliance on renewables. Okay, the biggest thing about renewable energy is that okay, we are going to talk about wind and solar basically. Okay, so if you ask me, okay, Texas is not going okay, the trees made the windmill don't work. Okay, but think about it. Since Texas is basically a hot place, you're gonna get a lot of sun. It's like free energy, for solar power. Okay, if you invest in it, okay, maybe maybe not rely fully on renewables, okay, like a hybrid system. It's gonna be more, how should I say this, a much wiser move, because you're gonna get sun, okay, you're gonna get sunlight after all, because of all this. Okay, why don't turn it into energy? Because I've seen recently, I've got a lot of feed on my feed recommendation on this using solar power, and some of the videos basically showing they've only paid a couple of bucks every single month because their house is fully solar powered. Okay, with some supporting from the grid line. Okay, and there's one thing that Republicans kind of forget, which is we have batteries. Batteries store energy. Okay, so maybe during winter it's not gonna help, but during this time, okay, heat wave, okay, it's a prime time for you to utilize solar power, okay, and generate electricity. Okay, people are gonna use more electricity. You get the electricity from solar power to power your homes so that it doesn't get so hot. Okay, and I'm afraid that, okay, it's gonna be the same thing with the winter storm. Okay, where this time instead of people freezing to death, they're gonna be cooked to death. It really depends on the location. Solar panel can be expensive. I did the math. It will take 7 years before the panels made it worth. Yeah, but 7 years. That was with the tax breaks state provide. But 7 years, I think that's a good investment. Okay, but if you're a homeowner, of course, okay, if you're a homeowner, that thing is basically gonna pay itself afterwards. Okay, so, but still, okay, if the federal government actually create subsidized subsidy program for the whole country, okay, it's going to put America, how should I say, I won't say the leading, but actually it's gonna catch up with other countries who are trying to go green. But the thing that's stopping from these renewable energies getting traction is because the fossil fuel companies are basically bribing them. Even now it should be the worst time for them, because the politicians should realize that we can't rely too much on gas, because one of the gas producing country, Russia, is basically acting terribly, okay, by launching wars in Ukraine. Okay, Texas relies Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I've read a lot of like oil companies drillings, okay, in Texas. Do they use, what is it called? What is it called? The thing that he really like, the thing that he really is for. It's not. I kind of forget what it is. What? Okay, it's probably our biggest industry. Like the thing escapes my mind. What's that method of extracting oil? Fossil fuels. It's the thing that people complain where it actually affected their house. Okay, that the pipes actually is mixed with oil, and then like you can actually burn the water that came out of it. Fracking, yes, fracking, yes. Okay, and fracking is pretty dangerous because it how should I say this? It makes the ground unstable, and later on would cause earthquake to be more frequent because the ground below it is softened up. Okay, there's actually a game like it doesn't directly lead to it, but you can see how it happens. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Turmoil. Okay, I'm interested in playing that. Okay, it's quite an, I won't say it's an old game, but it came up quite a while ago, and it's quite fun. It's like, it's not a game that you're going to fully immerse yourself. Okay, let me just show you up. Okay, let me just show you. If I'm not mistaken, Turmoil, something like this. This one. Wait, Turmoil Steam. It kind of like give you a visual representation, something like that, with it. I'm thinking of playing it late. Okay, so this one here, something like this. So like, basically, you know, like all drilling and stuff. I want to play it. It's okay. This game is basically, what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to, like, of course you can't, at first you will not be able to see what's down here. Okay, you're going to put in pipes, okay, and like finding the oil, and like it's gonna like suck the oil and stuff. Okay, and there's also gas somewhere around here, and it's quite a cheap game because it's for me it's like $23, so it's like 23 ringgit, so it should be around less than $5. Well, less than $10 for sure for you. Okay, I'm thinking of playing this game, but in a sense, I'm just worried about what's gonna happen in the future because if everything, when I was young, okay, I was told that the average temperature for Malaysia was the climate was around 27 degrees Celsius. Now, and that was 20 years ago. Okay, now basically my average temperature living here, it's actually around 30 to 33, okay, on average every single day. So I feel like if it reaches, close to 40, maybe like 30, 38, something like that, then it's really gonna be hot for us. Okay, basically, I think that since you live in Texas, you also feel this way. Like, we don't want a sunny day. We want it to be rain the whole time. But in Malaysia, okay, there's also a problem with our sewer system, basically in major cities. Okay, so if it rains, okay, we're going to have flash flood. So that's another thing, okay, because Malaysia is a tropical country, and it's gonna be if there's a lot of flash floods and floods happening in the cities because our government is corrupt, and there's a picture. Let's see, Malaysia flood. I just want to show you Malaysian flash flood. I'm quite worried, you know. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, okay, there's actually a comparison of um of a timeline, like 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after, and then like you can see like the whole area is flooded in 10 minutes time. Okay, because the sewer system can't cope with the amount of rainfall, and it was still raining after that. So that is one thing that Malaysians who live in big cities are facing. But I just, as a global citizen, you know, like I keep up with, you know, not only in Malaysia, I do keep up what happening in Europe, Africa, and all of this. Okay, and just reading, you know, every time when I open up my feed, okay, my news feed, I get news like this. It kind of like, I don't have you know, confidence in the future as a whole. I don't have confidence. How common is this? Basically, that depends on the rainy season. Okay, so right now it's not really the rainy season. It usually happens at the end of the year, and maybe around August a little bit. Okay, but especially at the end of the year. So what happened last time is that, okay, I want to show you what happened. Okay, Malaysia flood. Okay, Malaysian flood last year, 2020. Okay, so what happened was, especially this one, it's quite small. Wait, it's too big. It's like 5,000. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, so basically this whole residential area, okay, as you can see, this is the suburbs of our capital, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, and the area here is the capital city. Here is actually a residential area, and there's like a couple more around here. And what happened was, actually, this is not a flood-prone area. Okay, what happened is that since the developers, they didn't do it properly. Okay, and like they all are sharing the same drainage system. Okay, so like, okay, first is this: they can adequately deal with the water, with the rainwater. Okay, but then there's another residential build next to it. Okay, they're sharing the same thing, so they somehow can still manage. And then after that, another one pops up. After that, another one pops up. And what actually happened to this suburb, to this residential area, is that this thing actually turned into a huge swimming pool. Basically, that's it. Okay, so you can see that this space here, like the water level actually raised up to the second floor. That bad. Okay, and since our government is corrupt, okay, most of the people that there's a lot of people who live in flats. Okay, they didn't get any food, they didn't get any help for the first 2 days. Okay, and of course electricity have to be cut. Okay, and so electricity was cut. They can't go out, okay, because the water level is around 1 to 2 floors. Okay, and they're basically starving. Okay, people complaining like, we don't have water, we don't have electricity, what are we supposed to eat? And the fire department, all of them are pretty slow, and at the end volunteers from other states came and helped them. Okay, it was really, okay, maybe I can show you a bit. Okay, volunteers. So like, as you can see, most of these that came and helped, okay, they are actually volunteers from other states. Okay, and they actually brought their raft, their boats and stuff. Okay, just to help them out. Okay, so it's a nice thing to see that you know, people from because Malaysia is also a multicultural country. Okay, it is 70% is Malays. Okay, 20% is Chinese, and around less than 10% is Indians, and a bit more is like basically the natives. Okay, so I'm also a Chinese Malaysian. Okay, so when seeing all of this, okay, like people helping out regardless of race, it's a heartwarming thing. But basically, one thing in our mind is that where is the government? Why didn't they help? Okay, because it's not that they can't help. Okay, because if I'm not mistaken, one of the politicians, like family members, brothers or something like that, okay, he lived in this area. They can bring a helicopter to lift him out, but not for the rest of them. Okay, and then like a lot of people who are trapped saying that they only receive help. Maybe the earliest was the night of the second day, or the third day, something like that. Okay, to receive like a box of food. Okay, because like if you don't know, Malaysia, okay, we basically have a coalition systems, like many parties, and then it combined under one big matter. Okay, and Malaysia from 1957's independence until 2018, it is basically ruled by one coalition, and they have been, you know, siphoning off, you know, wealth from Malaysia. Okay, if you're interested, okay, you can go on to Google. You can just type 1MDB. Okay, and this one is basically the biggest heist of basically it's unbelievable how corruption happened. Okay, so if you read here, 1MDB scandal described corruption, bribery, and money laundering conspiracy in which Malaysian sovereign fund 1MDB was systematically embezzled, with the assets diverted globally by the perpetrators of the scheme. So what happened is that there's two key figures about this. Okay, one is our prime minister at that time, and the other guy is a Chinese businessman. Okay, Malaysian Chinese businessman. Okay, what he did was that the prime minister actually approved everything to go through this 1MDB, and basically he's been using this as his personal bank account. So like buying all the stuff, okay, and it's very, very, you know, blatant to a point that people will like, your salary is around 10,000, okay, around 10,000, something like that, okay, and then like people ask, how the heck did you manage to buy? How the heck did you manage to live a luxurious life? And then they start listing off the things that they have, like. They done like simple calculation, and with all the things that they flaunt. So basically like 100 million over. Like people are wondering, where did you get the money? And then they think that we are so stupid that they actually say that, oh, I did this. The wife, okay, the wife said, oh, I did this when I work. What did you work at? As a housewife. So like they are really like testing our you know, our patience with all of that. Okay, but but now, you know, if you read what happened recently, what happened in Malaysian politics, you'll be surprised, because our prime minister, wait, it's not there. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Prime Minister of Malaysia. Forgot to write. Okay, so the thing is with this guy, okay, this guy is our Prime Minister. He's actually been our Prime Minister twice. Okay, so during his reign, okay, without a doubt, Malaysia actually moved quite forward under him, but he's also quite corrupt, okay. And what happened next is that his first reign, okay, from 16 July to 1981 for until 2003, this one here, he's actually been a competent one, and then later he was brought back, okay. He was brought back in 2018, 2020, okay. Forgot where it is. Okay, when he was brought back is because okay, so similar to us, where they made 80k, end up with millions after 4 years long. But this is obviously worse, Jesus. So like, yeah, and the thing is that the opposition party, okay, actually brought this guy back just to like give some credibility, and then later on, okay, what happened is that the coalition actually break down, and then like another prime minister step in right before COVID, you know, hit, okay, like the global lockdown. So like, if I'm not mistaken, that thing happened around February, end of February 2020, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later we all went to lockdown, and like people can't protest, you know, all of this because we are so worried about COVID and stuff, man. Yes, this is recent, okay. And during that time, like, I was you know, going through the pandemic, and it was like, dude, pandemic is about to hit, and we are having a political crisis at this moment. Seriously, I was like so depressed when that happened. When I see this, like, oh shit, because we know that the ruling party is very, how should I say this? They are very corrupt. So we know that if there's going to be a pandemic under their watch, it's gonna be a bloodbath. And I wouldn't say it's a bloodbath, but you can see the incompetency everywhere. Okay, so we got through it, but you know, there's a lot of criticism, like corruption happening everywhere again. Yeah. So if you're interested, you should take you should check one MDB, like the one I said just now. Another one is the Sheraton Hotel. Oh, the Sheraton move. So what happened here? Yeah, see, it says here. Okay, okay, so this part here. 2020 to 2022, a political crisis. Is an ongoing political crisis in Malaysia. Okay, and what happened here is that a lot of, okay, to make it simple for American, is that you have two parties, okay? So the Democrats and the Republicans, okay? Now, I want you to imagine this, okay? Basically, like, you have 100 senators, okay, if I'm not mistaken. Can you imagine that currently, okay, let's say, Joe Biden have 50-50, right? Okay, the Democrats have 50-50, okay? And Kamala Harris work as the 51st senator, okay, on the Democratic side. Now, I want you to imagine that right now, suddenly around a number of senators, let's say for example 10 senators from Democrat, jump into Republican, okay, and basically like. And also happened for the House of Representatives. Okay, so like all of them switch over to Republicans. That is what happened at the end. Since Prime Minister, it depends on the Prime Minister is actually the leader of the party. That's how they became the Prime Minister. So in a sense, they have to change your president will change in the middle of this crisis. So that's how terrible it is. Okay. So when this happens, like, I was so depressed, and we can't even process it because COVID is looming on us. Okay, yeah, it is a nightmare. Okay, and now, okay, what our politicians are trying to do, okay, basically the opposition, they are trying to sign a law saying that you cannot switch party affiliations while you're in office. Okay, because it's unfair. So because we voted based on party line, because we we don't want them to give power to to the other side. And at the end, in the middle of the term, they did just that. So like what we did, okay, we voted you guys in because we don't want you to go to the other party, and then you literally moved to the other party. So that's what happened. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit about Malaysian political system. Okay. So you elected official your elected official can't vote outside party. They can vote, but they don't normally do that. Okay, because we use the parliamentary system. Okay, I think maybe I can check parliamentary system. Okay, so I think this view is it's a bit hard to. I need a like something to show you. Okay, maybe I can take a look at this. Like it's a bit hard for me to explain without any visual representation. Okay, view maybe. Okay. Let's just use this. Let's just use this as a to help you to imagine it. Okay, so let's say there's 100 people. Okay, 100 senators. Okay, and what happened is that we don't for America you elect the leader of your country. Okay, so basically your president. Okay, the one on top. In a parliamentary system, you don't vote who to be on top. You vote for the politicians, and these politicians, they belong to different parties. Okay, and what happened is that these parties, because they have smaller parties, and then like they form together a coalition. Okay, like a bigger group. Okay, so like let's say for example, for the Democrats, okay, you have the liberals, you have the moderates, and you have the progressive. Okay, you can imagine that, something like that. Okay, and let's say the liberal you have around 25. Okay, let's make it easy. 20 liberals, 20 moderates, and 10 progressive. Okay, and then like they form a majority. Okay, so like those and the coalition that have the most politicians in them basically is gonna choose one person to represent them and become the prime minister. So do you understand that part? Like, I think I need to take out maybe I need to take out paint and show you. So I'm not good at paint. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so we easy to say we don't elect who's on top. We elect the politicians, and then the politician in their party or in their coalition, they choose who's to be on top. So in a sense that when we vote for, that's why when it's a big trouble when these people they jump across party lines, because at the end that's gonna decide who's gonna be who's gonna govern the whole country. So right now, like they're kicking down. The opposition wants to enact that law, but the current ruling government they are kicking down the ball down the line, because they don't want to deal with this, because they think of in the next election they might do something like that. Okay, because people are pissed at the ruling party that has been governing governing Malaysia for over half a decade. I mean half a century. That's how bad it is. Okay, because we've seen corruption all over the place. Okay. So yeah, that's basically this. Okay, so that's all I gotta say for today. So like we talk a bit about mass shootings in America, we talk a bit about climate change, and we talk a bit about Malaysian troubles and stuff. Okay, so yeah, nice talking to you, Tagaru. Okay, and I want to have more of this kind of sessions where I just like randomly talk about what's happening. Okay, because there's so many things that is happening in the world. So there's like I want to like vent my frustration as well when I talk about all these things. Okay, and hopefully that we can talk about all of this. Okay, yeah. So that's it for now. Okay, later on at night, well, for you it will be in the morning, something like that. Okay, I'm going to play Steins. Going to go through Steins Gate again. Okay, visual novel. Yeah, sure. If I'm also to be honest, I'm more interested in global politics. So like like I watch TLDR. Okay, for basically global news and European news, and I'm also a big fan of TYT and the rest. Okay, TYT, Damage Report, and Rational National, all of those. Okay, so I keep in touch with like I like what's happening on with the world. Okay, yeah. So okay. Oh, TYT. TYT, I'm not saying that they are the best, but like I do feel like TYT right now, it's a bit, how should I say this? Recently, I can see that they're trying to be more bombastic. Like they're going for, how should I say? Especially you can see it with Anna. Okay, Anna Kasparian right now. I'm not saying that she's. I'm only saying that because I'm a big fan of and he hates Hassan, and I also hate him. Okay, now I hate Hassan because I hate the way he presents himself. Okay, because he present himself as somebody who like know it all. Okay, and very arrogant. Okay, so but his how should I say? What he wants at the end, okay, what he wants, like equal justice, like I'm down with that. But I hate the fact that he's always like try to show off. Like if you want me to compare him, the way he presents is more or less like Ben Shapiro. Okay, because like Ben Shapiro will always be like trying to flaunt his intelligence. Actually, he's not that smart at all. Same thing with Hassan. Okay, to me, I feel I kind of get a bit annoyed with Anna. Like she produces the main show, and her segments are very cringe. Okay, and but her breakdown of all things is good. Okay, I just don't want her to be the producer. Okay, like the segment that she produces, and then like for example the rich man cry, something like that. That when I hear that the intro music, like I feel like I wanna close it as soon as I heard that. Okay, but what she had to say for that segment, it's good. Okay, so but among all, I feel like I like the Damage Report the best from TYT. Okay, because Joy Irola is very I would say funny. He's more, how should I say, more relatable. That's why I like him. Okay, but David Dole from Rational National, it's his style is the most well suited for me because he tries to input as many things as he can, and we go through it together. So like that's why I enjoy him. Okay, but overall, like I say, I watched a lot of world news. Okay, yeah. So that's it for now. Okay. Okay. I'll see you later because later at night I'll be playing Steins Gate. Okay. Yeah. So see you later.